His nickname is Major Mika, and lately, it's easy to see why. After winning the richest event in the history of bowling, last month's Tournament of Champions, Mika Koivuniemi is in position to take yet another major, the USBC Masters. Can the Big Finn win back-to-back majors and put a lock on Player of the Year honors? Find out next. Welcome you to Reno, Nevada, and the National Bowling Stadium for the Bear USBC Masters, the third of 4 majors on the PBA Tour. Through 8 events this season, the Tour has had 8 different winners. Today, Finland's Mika Koivuniemi could earn his second title and his second major of the campaign. Glad you're with us this Sunday. Rob Stone and PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson with you. It was about exactly a month ago in Las Vegas, we were telling you that Bill O'Neill was the best bowler on the planet. But Mika Koivuniemi has seized that title. This is his 3rd straight majors TV appearance. After a rough patch the last couple years, he has absolutely dominated here in the 2011 calendar year. Why?
One word: confidence. Prior to last month, it had been a couple years since Mika had actually won a tournament, and he was really reeling with self-doubt. But after spending some time overseas, Rob, Mika was tearing it up. He won a tournament in Qatar. He then won a tournament in Finland. And guess what? He found that confidence that had been missing. And really, the confidence is the only thing that's been missing the last couple of seasons. All the hard work is paying off. Robbie told us both that this is the best he has ever bowled in his life. And everybody on tour will tell you that Mika Koivuniemi is the alpha dog on tour.
And he was part of the most memorable moments this year at the TOC. Just that 10-pin shy of a televised 300 in the semifinal match. He would go on to win the TOC, the richest prize in bowling history, a $250,000 payday. So Mika in match number 1 will take on 4-seed Mike Devaney, who is seeking his 3rd career title. For 2-seed Tom Hess, this is just his 3rd tournament of the season, but the Iowa native is just 2 wins away from his first title. And Jack Jurek, the Ripper, the only undefeated man in this double elimination match play tournament, is your number 1 seed. Time now for the introductions for match number 1.
The number 4 qualifier owns a pair of career PBA Tour titles, including the Scorpion Championship at the 2009 PBA World Series of Bowling. From Murrieta, California, Mike Devaney.
One of the great personalities on the tour. His best Masters finish was 9th at the 05 Masters in Milwaukee. His best finish at a major, 4th at the 2001 U.S. Open. He will finish no worse than 4th here today at the Bear USBC Masters. And Devaney, the native of just outside of San Diego, will get us going.
The number 3 seed is a 9-time PBA Tour champion, including 3 majors, $250,000 PBA Tournament of Champions winner. From Heartland, Michigan, representing Finland, Major Mika Koivuniemi.
First title won on the PBA Tour was a major, the 2000 Masters, where he beat Pete Weber by 1 pin. Also won the 2001 U.S. Open, and of course, the very memorable TOC this season.
There's nobody been bowling better than this guy, and just watch the fluidity of a big, tall, finished player, about 6'4", free arm swing, a great knee bend. As we take a look at the tournament format, 256 total entries, 10 games of qualifying. They cut the field of the top 65, some more qualifying games. and the only tournament of its kind that we have on tour where there is a double elimination match play.
Of the 256 entries, 144 were amateurs. A big discrepancy in the scoring between those two factions. We'll talk more about that in a second. Here's Mika in the second. Leaves the 4-pin.
I think one of the things that Mika has been working on so diligently is, watch this, right at release. He used to hit up on a lot of shots. His release plane is actually more on a little bit of a downward plane. All of his bad shots used to get into trouble because he would hit up or lift up on it and the ball would actually go up before it went down. Now he's releasing everything more on a downward plane. Makes the release much cleaner.
So Mika will take a seat, and Mike Devaney will head on to the lanes. Told us yesterday to beat Mika, the way that Koivu Niemi is bowling, says he's going to need a 240 or a 250. We talk about the difference between the amateurs and the PBA exempt players. Huge swing, about a 25-pin differential in scoring between the two factions this week here at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno. Messenger misses.
And Rob, this event was open to all good bowlers, or excuse me, all bowlers in good standing with USBC with a certified average of 190 or higher, which means that you would have fallen just a little bit short, but with a little bit of practice and making your spares, we can get you to 190. As you see, a great shot by Mike Devaney. The messenger comes across, goes behind the 10-pin.
So strike 9 spare for both parties here in match 1. Time now for our lumber liquidators. Know the wood.
This hole pattern, 39 feet in length, and it is sport compliant because it's a 2-to-1 ratio across the lane. You see the players immediately are starting in that track area, the shaded blue area. There's even a little bit of a look directly outside, but as the track breaks down, look for the players to move in and open up the inside part of the lane. And on a somber note, I'd just like to mention that longtime USBC employee Jim Jarzik, who was in charge of lane maintenance for this event for several years, unexpectedly passed away in December. Our hearts and prayers and thoughts go out to his family.
Devaney, the strike there in the third. And now Mika Koivu Niemi, who is on the cusp of earning his second career Player of the Year title. Randy, who are the Player of the Year finalists in your eyes where we stand right now through the season?
Mika Koivu Niemi, Bill O'Neill, Chris Barnes.
And that's about it.
I think those are the only three that have a chance at actually getting there. You see Mika Koivu Niemi's arsenal. He's using the Mission 250K.
And we know where the 250K came from, the $250,000 winner's purse from the TOC. Having a ball named after you, that's kind of cool.
He used the same bowling ball when he won the Tournament of Champions.
Well, these guys have been absolutely identical through 3 frames here in match number 1. Strike, 9 spare, strike.
Look for Mika to make an adjustment here in the 4th frame on that left lane. Remember the last time on the left lane he left a 4-pin, just drifted a pinch high. He'll make a move now. Watch this. Beautiful approach here. You see that knee bend. Nice balance. But the thing about Mika right now, man, he's just boiling over with confidence. And quite honestly, $250,000 in your pocket, that'll loosen up your arm swing.
Jacks for the big fin.
There's the adjustment, moves in just a little bit more. Let's take a look at Mika Koivu Niemi's form. You see the big high backswing right there. Now go ahead and roll it forward, guys. I want you to watch this. You see the release point, how high it is off the lane, and the lack of knee bend. Not a lot of knee bend, not a lot of upper body lean. That's why the release point is so far off the floor.
Nice use of the telestrator, Randy.
Thank you, sir. I was here early working on it.
Little baby split staring Devaney in the face here with a 310. As that one drifted left on him.
And he looked down at his hand immediately. And one of the things that Mike Devaney has been working on, one of the changes, was he changed his thumb pitch so that he wouldn't grab it at the bottom of the swing. So you see the 310 conversion rate on television, just under 50%. These stats over the last 5 years on the telecast.
And he misses, so an open frame in the fourth for Devaney. Not an easy conversion to pick up, as those numbers showed, and those numbers you could have seen in the back of ESPN, the magazine, recently. They did a great breakdown of the leaves that have been left on the PBA on television over the last couple years as we take a look at Mike Devaney's arsenal, and he's going with the Marvel.
And interesting, both players using the strongest bowling balls in their arsenal with a hook rating of 10. So even though it's 39 feet, it's not the longest pattern the players bowl on. However, it's playing fairly long, so the player's using a lot of aggressive equipment.
Devaney back on the strike train there. Down 22 as he gives way to Koivu Niemi.
And as a player, even though it's we're only 5 frames into this, when you give an opponent like Mika Koivu Niemi an open frame or an opening of any kind, boy, it really beats you down, because you know how well this man is bowling. You know what a great bowler he is, and the last thing you want to do is to give him any chance and any breathing room.
Oh, this is his 4th straight top 6 finish of the season. A stand-up triple there for Koivu Niemi.
Yeah, if it was just for the one pin in Dublin where he missed a show, he'd have made 4 shows in a row, Rob. This guy's on fire, and he's in a zone that as professional bowlers you only dream of getting to.
ESPN BioBlast on Mika Koivu Niemi. Big hockey fan of the Detroit Red Wings. He lives in the Michigan area and likes listening to you two. And we learned yesterday enjoys cooking. Lamb chop, I'm being told, is his specialty. Have you ever had the Mika lamb chop?
I've never been invited. I bet you the song that he's thinking of right now from U2, though, has got to be One.
Or Beautiful Day.
This guy is a machine-like. We only use 4-baggers here at the Masters.
Ham bone for Mika Koivu Niemi. Is Mika a contender for the season's PBA Player of the Year honor? We'll let you know Mike Devaney's thoughts on that when ESPN's presentation of the PBA returns to Reno. The Bear USBC Masters is brought to you by Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for less. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. By Budweiser, great times are waiting, grab some buds. And by the makers of Bear Aspirin, expect wonders. Mike Devaney, your 4C down 42 pins. His quest to get on the TV show almost ended Friday evening in the 10th frame of Game 3 of his final 3-game total pinfall match versus 87 Masters champ Rick Steelsmith. Steelsmith needed a double in the 10th to make the TV show, got the first, but couldn't get the 10-pin to drop. Steelsmith just missing the show as Devaney advanced to the TV finals by a mere 3 pins.
And it was especially tough on Rick. His father, Mel, is battling back from major surgery. So, Mel, hey, we all wish you the best. But, you know, I know Rick personally. I know how much it meant to him, you know, as a former Masters champion to make the show again, but not only for himself, but for his father as well. So, you know, I'll tell you what, Rick Steelsmith's a great class act, a great bowler, and it's sad not to see him out here.
Let's take a longer
because
break
you know what,
next time, guys.
If it wasn't for a couple of injuries, Rick Steelsmith probably would have won 20 times out here on this tour. He is just a phenomenal talent, one of the best talents I've ever seen in my career.
And a big miss here by Devaney.
And he was perturbed by the little lay off the weight there for in between shots for Devaney there in the 6th frame. He, again, comes back off of the shot that he threw in the 4th frame where he went through the nose, leaving the 310, failed to convert. This time whiffs the head pin.
A great pickup for Devaney. So he goes strike, spare, strike, spare, strike, spare.
Mike Devaney trying to convert the 1-2-4-8, and that is your Bear Pain Relief Replay.
Yeah, brought to you by the makers of Bear Aspirin. He has yet to strike on that right lane. All three of his strikes on the left, which is where Devaney is right now. But he's down 42 as we begin the 7th. Time to start stringing some strikes together big time. And there he goes. So 4 strikes, all of them on that left lane. But Devaney will close out the 10th on the right lane.
Yeah, he's locked in on that left lane, Rob, but like he said, he's got to finish the match on the right lane. He better figure out the right lane quick before Mika puts an end to this.
And here is Mika stepping up, bottom of the 7th, trying to string together 5 in a row. Drops a little Yahtzee here in Reno, does Mika. And he is firmly in control of match number 1. Number 2 seed Tom Hess waiting in the wings for the winner of this one.
This guy's in some kind of zone, and you can see it not only in his scores and the way he's throwing it, but you can see it on his face. I mean, his demeanor, his facial expressions. It's like, doesn't matter who I bowl against, doesn't matter what the oil pattern's like, it doesn't matter what center we bowl in, I'm going to beat you.
In a row for Koivu Niemi. And you and I have seen a lot of Mika over the course of the last month and a half, and he's always a confident bowler. But there's been a much more positive spin to his attitude when we've met with him lately.
Yeah, we're always asking him, you know, specifically, what's different? Why are you bowling so well? And he won't elaborate. It's almost like he doesn't want to give out any inside information and maybe help his opponents. The bottom line is he knows he's been working really hard. The hard work's paying off. But with that being said, he's extremely confident, like we talked about in the Open.
Here's Devaney trying to get to his first double of the match, and he does. A borderline mandatory strike there for Devaney. Deficit at 52 for Devaney, who's making his 2nd telecast of the season. Finished 4th earlier in the campaign at the Pepsi Viper Championship. His 3rd top 10 of the season. Not a lot of folks realize how consistent Devaney has been through the years. He's been ranked in the top 20 in points each season since the 04-05 campaign. And 3 in a row for Devaney.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point, Rob. You're right. He is one of the most consistent players out here, and you never know it because, you know, he himself admitted the fact that he doesn't make a lot of shows out here, but he is there week in and week out. Very consistent player out on this tour. He's like, well, let me see if I can get a little trip 4 for 3 in a row. Okay. Max score for Mike Devaney, 228. Mika Koivu Niemi, 280.
Now here's Koivu Niemi trying to put the extra point onto the touchdown here in the 9th. Oof. First poor shot of the afternoon for Mika.
Hold on now. That's 4 through the middle. 9th frame. This could get interesting here. Mika's going to try to get the ball over into this zone right here. Throw the 3 over into the 4-7 and have the ball take out the other 3. Watch this.
Not a bad effort, but an open frame In the foundation frame, 9th. Head on over to PBA.com right now and submit your More of What Matters to You fan question, brought to you by the makers of One A Day. Direct your question this week to our #1 seed, Jack Jurek. If your question is selected, you'll be recognized on air, and your question will be answered live. Again, head on over to PBA.com, click on the One A Day logo to submit your question. Jack Jurek, your #1 seed. Tom Hess, your #2 seed. Mika Koivuniemi off an open frame here, beginning the 10th. His lead has just been cut to 22.
Mika needs to fill 20 here in the 10th frame, Rob. Excuse me, 19. Spare 9, and he advances. Anything less, Mike Devaney still has a chance. He's taking his time here.
That's a big bounce back strike for the big Finn.
That needs 9 on 2 balls now. Looks like he goes with a little extra loft on this shot. He's going to keep this one on line. Yep, absolutely. More loft there, more speed, more direct. He's not going to give that shot there a chance to go high and get 4. So he goes with his bread and butter. The straight, fast, loft, high, hard one for 10 back.
We asked his match 1 opponent, Mike Devaney, yesterday, who's your player of the year right now? He said, if anyone doesn't vote for Mika, they're an idiot. Mika is in control of the PBA right now and in control of match #1. There's the loft, and there is the 9-pin, which is enough to move on to the semifinals. The wife, Lena, looking on, and another win on television for Mika Koivuniemi, and he will advance to take on Tom Hess.
Guy's in control, Rob.
Absolutely is. When we return, we'll hear live from our #2 seed, Tom Hess, plus some 300 history here at the Masters. This is the Bear USBC Masters, coming your way live from Reno, Nevada.